grab a water for me too.
Thanks for the water.
Hello. Please enter your 6-digit conference code.
You know what I said?
Shalom. Hey, brother.
Hello. Please enter your 6-digit conference code.
What's up? Shalom. Most High in Christ bless everybody. What's up, brother? Shalom. All right, Israel, we're going to go ahead. Let us try and get our conference going, and then we're going to go ahead and start. I want y'all brothers and sisters to make sure that y'all got y'all's phone plugged up so they don't start going down. You know, the live will definitely drain those batteries, all right? So we can get this word in today. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start, and I don't know, don't we have two numbers today? What's the other one? No, not the old one. I think they messing us around. But I need to go ahead and start because I want to get out of here on time, and we're gonna need every moment. All right. So, body, Most High in Christ bless our body.
Most High in Christ bless you too.
All right. So, today's lesson is going to be about marriage and divorce. Okay. Turn it down while you get it. Marriage and divorce. I would advise everybody to take some real good notes. Okay, some very good notes. There's a spirit that's happening right now in Israel that's challenging marriage, the institution of marriage, and a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters are stumbling and falling. Okay, stumbling and falling because the very thing that the Lord said not to love, that's what we're doing. We're loving it, and it's the world. Okay, so let's open up and remember, I'm shooting from the hip. So let's open up in Ephesians. Yeah, we're trying to get it going. Okay? All right. So now, Ephesians chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at verse 21. So it says, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. In the institution of marriage, Israel, you gotta submit yourselves to each other. You gotta, male, female, man, woman, you got to apply the scriptures. The scriptures say be slow to speak, swift to hear, slow to wrath, slow to anger. Okay? And we also got to have the spirit of long suffering. Now, for those brothers and sisters that are not married and you are single and you are waiting to be married, there's nothing wrong with that. But now, you still got to have that type of spirit to where you're going to submit yourself one to another when it comes to the law, statutes, and commandments, when you have to deal with other brothers. Are you getting offended? Say, for instance, you're a single brother or you're a single sister, and you getting offended by, easily offended, by this and by that, by the way somebody look at you, the way somebody said something, the way somebody moved, the way they didn't think about you, the way they didn't offer you something. If these things are offending you, what do you think is going to be like when you get into a relationship with somebody else? So if you know that you are a brother that's constantly being offended, you enter into a let's just call it a love affair, because when you get married, you gonna feel that you love this person. You're gonna highly like them, man. You're gonna be into them. You're gonna be enjoying them. But when they go wrong, what you think gonna happen? You have the same old habits of being easily offended. It's gonna surface, and that's what you got to deal with while you're in that single state. Because being married, that doesn't change the spirit on you. All you did was add more detail to your life. If you was mean-spirited before you got married, when you get married, as soon as that person transgressed the law of the Most High against you, you know what's going to end up happening? You're going to end up being offended. Yeah, you're going to end up being offended. And then, you might, settle it. But then when they do something else, you're going to be offended again. So while you're in the single state, what do? You work on that. You take correction. You pray, you fast, you pray, you apply, you learn. You get to know your God the Most High. What's up, Brian? Shalom, man. You get to know your God the Most High. You get to know what does the Lord really require of me. And then you start subjecting yourself to the people on earth, to your teachers. When you start subjecting yourself to your teachers are going to be the hardest people on the face of the earth. Because they're your teachers. They're not your lovers. They're your teachers. They're supposed to tell you what's wrong with you. And if you could subject yourself unto them, whether it's you feel like you're being scrutinized, whether you feel that you're being gone over with a fine-tooth comb, whatever the case and scenario and situation is, your teachers are there to teach you and to make sure that you come out. What do I need now? It's in.
Conference recording started.
Right. I just started the conference. So everybody that's trying to call the conference, they're going to be able to get in now. Okay? So now, so what was I saying? I was saying that, I'm sorry, train of thought. Some brother. Right. So we are creatures of what? That's right. We are creatures of habit. And being creatures of habit, if you submit yourself to the teacher, hey, the teacher ain't supposed to play with you. The teacher ain't supposed to play with you. The scriptures say the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and you should seek the law at his lips. So if you in transgression of the law, and then you go and you ask, what am I supposed to do? He or she supposed to tell you, this is what you're supposed to do according to the Most High, God. According to the Most, they're supposed to show you according to the Most High. They're supposed to walk on eggshells, sugarcoat, or cut you a break. No, it ain't no breaks. Because the Most High is sending us to tell you whether you're going to hear it or whether you are not going to hear it. So now, you pass those tests. You single. You pass those tests, you turn out, you got a beautiful spirit. What do you think life is going to be like when you enter into a relationship and then somebody else turns to you with the same attitude? Teaching you, telling you this and that. What do you think that's going to be like? That's going to go well with you. Do we understand what I'm saying? Your marriage is going to go well because you are used to being a mind well and short. Get that for me. That's why I told you no. You understand? You have got to have the type of mindset to where when somebody say something to, if you single and you don't want somebody to say something to you, baby, stay single. Stay single. You're not ready to be married. It's something else that you're looking for, but it ain't commitment. Everybody understand that? It's not commitment. Because in this, we read Ephesians 5:21. It says, submitting yourselves one to another. I could have had it. You got it? Okay. What did I say?
He's at 26 to 14.
Ecclesiastes 26. Ecclesiastes 26. And yes, Ecclesiastes 26, and I'm gonna start at verse 13. Give you a moment to get it. All right, so it says, the grace of a wife delighted her husband. You know what the grace is? Grace is something that God gave to her. That's right. He saw her fighting. Sisters, you gotta fight. Most of you, you're contingency upon what the guy does. What he's doing. If you've been a counselor in Israel, I run into a lot of situations to where sisters, you want to throw in the towel. That's why through the Spirit the subject come up. Sisters want to throw in the towel. Brothers want to throw in the towel. But you want to throw in the towel because it's not working based upon what he is doing. No, what about what you're doing? You have got to do what you're supposed to do as a person. And therefore, God will give you grace. What is grace? The first thing grace does is what? That's right. He will teach who? He will teach you. The first thing the Most High God will do will teach you. He will help you to understand why you in the situation you in. Why are sisters in the situations that they in, where they want to throw in the towel? Because they what? Made a what? They made a choice. God will teach you that you made that choice. But most of all of you don't want to accept it. And you don't want to understand that, listen, I made that choice when I was what? In what? Begins with an F. When I was in the what? Flesh. When I was in the flesh, I made that choice. And I am struggling with my what? Flesh. I am struggling with my flesh. Because truth be told, when you open up this Bible, this Negro runs. He runs. You open up the Bible, he runs. There are sisters that say, I want to be taught, I want to be taught, I want to be taught, I want to learn. He's running. The Lord is telling you, stay the course. You'll be confused. God is going to give you as a woman grace. He's going to teach you to do what? What else does grace do? Teaching us what?
Deny
to deny ungodliness. So what does he got to do with that? If you wasn't in your flesh, in between your legs, it wouldn't even matter, would it? It wouldn't even matter, would it? That's right, because that are of the Spirit. How's it go? That are after the Spirit do mind what? The things of the Spirit. So if you are after the Spirit, your mind is like a choo-choo train. You minding the things of the Spirit. You gone. He gonna be looking at you like, well, why you not tripping off of me? What's going on with me? Here I am over here. You're gonna be like, okay, I know. This Spirit, these scriptures, these ways, this application, this righteousness. And then when you run it and when you fall on a rough patch, a hard time, because you can only take so much, that's when you get your spiritual family to lean on. That's when you get on the phone, ring, ring, and you call who? Your mother or your auntie? Who do you call? Your teacher. Don't stutter. No. Call your teacher who helped you get to that point to where you at. You don't call your mother. You call your mother because you are very emotional. Israel have got to get out of what? Begins with an F. Flesh. You got to get out of the flesh. Stop minding the things of the flesh. You got to put that aside. You got to be a very hardened type of person. Like it's one way and only one way. And you got to learn. Listen, when I was young, all of us, not just me, but you brothers too, we all played sports. Remember how we played sports and we took a beating? We took hits. I used to run the ball. I was a bruiser. Boom, 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 boom. I took those hits, ran over cats, been knocked out, knocked other people out, got tackled, hit the ground. It was abrasive. It was abrasive. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was hard. You had to, my body can't take that now. You had to learn. We had to learn how to hit the ground hard. Them dudes right now that's still doing that, they hit the ground hard and get right back up. That's how you got to live in the truth. When you unequally yoked, hey, most of you are stuck. You unequally yoked, you got to learn how to be hard at this point. You was hard in the truth. You played football. You played basketball. You did all these different type of things to where you had to do something that was really hard. It really hurt your body. It hurt your flesh. Now it's time to hurt your spirit, and you can't do that for the Most High. For yourself. Because who are you really trying to save? You're trying to save yourself. Everybody understand that? So you gotta make the hard decision and the hard choice to humble down. But for those brothers and sisters that are together, I'm going back to the scripture. Ecclesiastes 26:13. It says, for the grace of a wife delighted her husband. So this is a brother that is blessed. He's blessed because grace has taught his wife. Does this mean that he ain't never going to have problems? This doesn't mean that. Everybody on the face of the earth going to have problems. I got problems. I'm going to have some more problems. Who in here ain't got problems? Raise your hand. You see? We got to know how to deal with it. But the thing is when you have grace in your life, that means you are what? Say the right thing. You are being taught. You are taught. When you have grace in your life, you are taught. You're not walking in sin just because you wanted the grace. The scripture says, shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? No. No. Grace teaches you. Grace don't leave you dumb and stupid and ignorant and lame and in sin and breaking the laws. No, grace teaches you. So blessed is a man that has a wife that is being taught by God through the Spirit. Because she has to communicate. If she's stubborn, or if she, let me say, If she's slow to understand, sisters would like that a little better. If she's slow to understand, not so, because you don't want to be labeled as stubborn. You don't like that. So if you are slow to understand and he can't help you understand, yeah, okay, you could call the teacher, but you still got to deal with your creator. So now that's when that comes in. Well, he will teach you. He will show you. He will tell you. He will soften your heart. He said he'll give you a heart of flesh. When you read Ecclesiastes 36, he'll give you a heart of flesh. He'll take away the stony heart out of your flesh and give you a heart of flesh and give you a better way to think about what you did or your part or how you could have did something different. That's grace right there. Okay? And the man, when he see that, it says delighted. Delighted. Brothers, you got to wait for these sisters. You got to wait for these sisters to get to that point. You can't just go picking a sister because she holding the Bible. Do everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
You can't just pick a sister because she holding the Bible. I pick a sister because she attended classes. I'm picking a sister because I even get arguments from people saying, well, how long does it take? 2 months or 3 months? You think I'm driving? They want to know. How long does it take? I'm like, it take time. You can't put it price. You can't put a number on it. Then they want to justify and say who in the Bible ran up on who and this happened. I ain't dealing with that. I'm dealing with Proverbs 6. If thou gettest a friend, prove him first. And be not hasty to credit him. Because you're going to end up wanting to be loose. So now, let's continue. It says, and her discretion. Ain't nobody new to the truth got discretion. Ain't nobody new in this truth got discretion. They'll be with you tonight and walk out tomorrow. What is discretion? A well thought out action. I'm going to think about what I do. That's what discretion is. And her discretion will fatten his bones. Excuse me. Means he'll be just as healthy. Yeah. You ever get into a situation, things ain't right, you don't want to what? You don't want to eat. That's all right. I got a dog. If the dog don't eat, I'm like, what's wrong with the dog? Is the dog sick? We're in Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and 13 in the Apocrypha. Verse 14, read that.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
Well instructed. So brothers, sisters have got to have a mind well instructed. And the best case scenario is, before you pick this fruit, she should be well instructed. That's to avoid what? Fornication. Because what's going to happen? That relationship is going to be over and you're going to be labeled as a fornicator or an adulterer. And you're going to cause her to commit adultery. Okay? So now, mind well instructed. Let's go back to Ephesians chapter 5. Y'all share the video. Tag somebody in it. Tag your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your aunt. Tag all those people in this thing. You see that little man with the, what is that? It's an arrow now. It used to be a plus or something. Push that and just start tagging, sending it, inviting your friends and stuff to this class. So now, this Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Read that.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord.
Right. So now, marriage is about what? Agreeing. Marriage is about agreeing. Marriage is about talking. Marriage is about being reasonable. All right? Marriage is about submission. Now, wives, when it says submit yourselves unto your own husbands, that means that exactly what it says. you should submit yourself unto your husband. Not your mother, not your auntie. You tell somebody outside of the family, but you're not going to tell your husband how you feel. You can't do that. You're going to end up in divorce. You're going to end up leaving this brother, which we're going to get into. So you got to submit yourselves unto him. Sisters, you got to submit yourself to your husband. That means you got to sit down. Every sister that come to me in trouble, I say, well, have you talked to him? No, he don't listen. Okay, well, listen. Go back and talk to him again. And then this time, without being mad, sit down and let him know, I'm trying to get your attention. I want to talk to you about the way that I feel. I want to talk to you about what I'm thinking. As a matter of fact, I want you to talk to the brother. Because the first thing I'm going to tell him is, you don't throw no woman away. Why? I want the right answer. Why? Why don't you throw a woman away? Let's see who's smart, who's endued with knowledge. Why don't you throw a woman away? Doesn't matter how bad things get. Never, ever, ever, never, ever throw the woman away. Teach the woman. Why don't you throw the woman away? Proverbs chapter 31. You might not know of it. Proverbs chapter 31. And verse 11. The second precept. See? Not the first one. The first one, she's in trouble. She's going by some rough ways. We need the second part. Read the next, read it.
This is Proverbs chapter 31, verse 11, second
No,
precept.
verse 10, I'm sorry.
Proverbs 31 and verse 10, second precept. For her price is far above rubies.
Why don't we throw the woman away? Because you're going to have need of her, brother. You're going to have need of her. Do your brothers understand that? Okay, so you don't do that. I understand the shape that she's in. She's in that shape. Why? Because we as men didn't do what?
Teacher.
We didn't teach her. Go to Ecclesiasticus. About the wandering, it's 1 and 28. 36, Ecclesiastes 36. Yeah. Yes, Ecclesiastes 36. And I'll start at verse 22. Ecclesiastes 36:22. It says, "The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance." Okay, that's something that we'll have to work on. Right? Whose countenance is it going to cheer? Ours as a man. It says beauty. A lot of times we don't see that. But we have to work on that. Right? How do you work on it? By teaching it, right? Right. Everybody get that, right? And a man love it nothing better. You see that? So we just went to Proverbs 31 and 10. It shows you she's priceless, far above rubies. Okay? If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue. So you have to teach her to talk like that. It does take what? It does take time. Then is not her husband like other men. Why? He's special because he's got something special. You understand? A lot of brothers that whine and cry about their wife, they whine and cry about their wife because they don't teach their wife. A lot of brothers that want to get rid of the woman, they want to get rid of the woman because they don't teach the woman. They don't spend no time at home. They don't spend no time talking to her. They don't spend no time in the scriptures. But they spend time where? At the kitchen table. They spend time at the kitchen table and they spend time in bed. And some of them don't even do that. They don't spend time in bed. They just spend time, sleep, and then they gone out the door. And then they wonder why she's mad, why she's a hot mess, In their eyes, she's a hot mess. A lot of you sisters, you are not a hot mess for real, but you do burn it up. You do a lot of things, bugged out stuff. You lose your wits because of the guy. When you gotta strengthen your spirit and your mind to come back unto the Most High and do it at hardness. And then you got to tie your shoes up tight. You got to take counsel. And then now you got to go to war. Go to war meaning you got to start fighting for your household, including him. Because he veered off the path. So you can go in and you can correct him. And you can sit him down and say, listen, well, let's talk about this. What scripture is this, this, and this, and this, and this? And you got to keep pushing, keep pushing. Now, if you're in a bad church, let's put it like that, because I know some people say camp, organization, congregation, any way you want to put it. If you in a bad place like that, the action 10 times out of 10, the leadership is like that, and that's why he's doing that. Leadership is like that. When you read Ecclesiastes 10, it says the officers are like the rulers and the judges. And that's why it takes proving and getting to know somebody and not just making a verbal commitment to them. Oh yeah, we're gonna court. Oh yeah, I'm gonna date you. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check you out. Oh yeah, we can talk. You gotta break all those little lustful habits that's in the world. And we're gonna be talking on the phone because you're gonna get dogged out. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get dogged out. You're gonna get the short end of the stick, and he don't care. No, neither do his leadership care. The ones that taught him, that's their duty. They go around smashing women, and they gonna be going off. And now you gonna be yoked to some man, and you're gonna be crushed, and you're gonna be like, the hell with this. This truth ain't for me. Then you can't be you know. It all starts with you getting the ground as a woman under your feet and serving the Most High for the Most High. And not in something because I want to be a part of something. Oh yeah, I don't want to be lonely while I'm doing this. You can't be like that. That's not Christ. They that are Christ's have crucified the what? The flesh and the lust and the affections thereof. Okay, so now Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 23. If there be kindness, meekness, comfort in her tongue, so you got to teach her until she get to that point. It says, then is not her husband like other men. Because now he's happy. And he's not going to be complaining like the average brother that's complaining. She don't listen, she's stubborn, she this, she that. And a lot of times, brothers, you just give up on her when she's doing that. It says, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. Yeah, meaning that's something that the Most High gave to you. So now the precept says you beginning to thrive. So now you got to start focusing on growing and training this sister up to think like you, to be like you, and then showing her that this is the reason why we have to be like-minded in the scriptures. In what? In the scriptures. And everything you do, you got to relate right back into the scriptures regardless of how the circumstance appears to be. Then it says, and a pillow of rest where no hedge is. Well, I didn't skip through that, but I did mess up. It says, verse 24, Ecclesiastes 36:24, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself. You see that? A help. Remember how we always say that every kind cleaveth to his life? Right. So whatever type of person you are, that's what the Most High is gonna put. He gonna put that type of person into your life. A help. So sisters there to help you. Help you what? Help you see the things that you don't see. Sisters, be patient with brothers, because a lot of times it doesn't happen very fast. So sisters have to be what? Patient. So you have to teach sisters to be patient and don't just throw in the towel. She can't go shopping for another man. You understand? She can't do it. Now those sisters that are new into the truth, is that you know, and they still screwing around having sex, is that marriage? What is that? It's fornication. It's fornication. So you gotta exhort them to good works. You gotta exhort them to stop. Brothers are doing it, right? Brothers doing the truth, still having sex, right? They know that's not marriage. They know that the woman that they having sex with is not fully down and committed. They just calling this my girl having sex. And if he continues and she falls away because she like, well, I'm still gonna eat this pork chop my mama cooked, and she just, you know, walk away and leave him this, that, and the third, he's still gonna be searching for what? He's still gonna be. That's right. He's still gonna be searching for what? So you gonna? Are we gonna be unjust and misjudge the situation pertaining to a sister? No, you don't. You look at them the same. A fornicator is a fornicator. Sisters are doing it too, knowing the truth, having sex. You're fornicating. That's not marriage. You have to stop. Stop, be born again, become a new creature in Christ, and then peradventure if the Most High. Then you got to wait on the Most High, because all of these years that you've been growing up, that was you. You did that. You chose those people. And every situation was a losing situation. That fruit, declare it. You see? So that's, you know, that's how you explain it. They got to stop. So now, brothers, we got to teach them to help us. We got to allow them to help us. Okay? And when they get stronger, what word in there is going to describe how we feel? We Ecclesiastes 36 and verse 24, the last precept. What word in there is going to describe how we feel when the wife gets stronger? Rest. 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 Everybody see it? Because if we don't teach them, we're not going to get no rest. You know, you want to know how you feel? How you going to feel? Hold this, because I want to finish this. Get Ecclesiastes 36. I'm moving kind of fast because, Lord, God willing, we're going to get out of here on time. I want to just touch everything. Ecclesiastes chapter 36, 26. It is it 26? It's 25. Ecclesiastes chapter 25. It's 20. Ecclesiastes 25 and 20, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25 and verse 20.
So now imagine this. Go ahead.
As the climbing up a sandy way.
Stop. What's a sandy way? A hill full of sand. Go ahead.
Is to the feet of the aged.
Right, it's to the feet of the aged. How does aged people feel about their feet and knees and stuff, legs and stuff? Hurt. So now just imagine this person is climbing up this. They can't stand this, man. They like, I can't stand this. They're walking and they're hurting and everything. Read.
So is a wife.
So is a wife. Read.
Full of words.
Full of words. Always got something to say. Full of words. You're a very painful woman. So when your wife is like that, and most wives will be like that, brother, you got to teach. You cannot just throw the woman under the bus. Stop it. Stop walking out. You got to teach. Read.
To a quiet man.
Yeah, you quiet. She's not quiet. You got to teach her. Because you wasn't feeling like that in the beginning. Because in the beginning, how did you feel? You loved her. You liked her. She put the nice shoes on. She put the nice clothes on. She put the perfume on. Y'all went out to eat. You opened the door. You paid for the meal. You tried your best to show her that I'm by your side. I'm in your corner. But you saw the old woman. The old woman came out. She got offended in something. She got mad at something. The old woman came out and you saw it. And then it began. Now, remember, we are creatures of habit. So being the creatures of habit, she did it again. She did it again. And she just covered it up. She did it again and she did it again. But you into this thing with her. And this thing that you in is called marriage. So at this point, you can't just, now you got to deconstruct that, and now you got to teach her Christ. And that's what this ministry is all about. Bringing people to the Most High in Christ according to the Bible. Now you got to bring her to, now you got to show her Christ. So now if you in Christ, sister, you can't do that. Now as a brother, as her husband, now you got to sit back, you got to be patient, and you got to let her, a lot of times it take years. It take years. Correction is in my house all day, every day. And I've been building for years. Not just my wife, my children. And then them with me. Telling me, how dare you do this and that, you too strict, you do too much. The woman like, hey, I tried to tell you, you don't listen. How you telling me I don't listen? Everybody got something to say about everybody. But what do? You have to teach one another. Because there are some options out here that's not available for the believers, for the elect. You don't choose that option. And that option is divorce. I'm gone. That's not the option that you choose. That's the option for losers. That path leads to the lake of fire. And we're going to get that. Okay, so now, are we through with this? Yes, it's climbing up a sandy way to the feet of the aged. So is a wife full of words. So sister, back down. Back down. Don't be full of words. Humble yourself. Be quiet. You just turn up. If he's wrong, pray for him. Be like, God, go pray. Ask the Most High to show him. He do deal with you, right? Right, he do deal with y'all. God does deal with you. He deal with you without us. You're not in this truth for us. You're in this truth for you. And by you being in this truth for you, you got a relationship with the Most High too. And he gave you to us. If we're gone, if we die, you still deal with the Most High. But there is order, and the Most High wants to see you in that order. Now, say for instance, if we're in sin, which is out of order, you don't follow us in sin. You stick with the path. You stay the course. You keep the commandments. You don't get full of words, get out of the spirit, do what we do. Do what the Bible says to do. Because Christ is the head of all flesh. You do what Christ commanded you to do, regardless. Because trust and believe, brothers are prepared to just move on without you. Say, for instance, you lose your mind and you refuse to hearken. Brothers ain't going to turn back for you. So you going to turn back for a brother? What sister here going to turn back for a brother? Because he doing something wrong. If you do, you foolish. You don't turn back for nothing or for nobody. You stay the course. And everything that you have to agree in with this brother, it has to be according to these scriptures. That's why you got to study for yourself. Study. He going to teach you, but you still got to pick up the book and read. Because if the only time that you reading and you studying is when he show it to you, what if he's twisting it up? What if it's not right? You're not going to know. You got common sense. God gave you some senses too. Eyes to see and ears to hear. You better use that. And that's why some of you, I've seen sisters stuck in bad situations, and they in those situations. You want me to tell you why? Because they didn't read for themselves. They let somebody else read for them and read to them. It was one situation to where a sister, man, she's like a sister to me. But she stuck in a bad way so bad. She said her husband would come in and would be like, what you doing reading? I'm like, what? For real? What you doing reading? And she had to explain what she reading and why she reading it. I'm like, damn, man, that's kind of bad right there. You put that down. I want you dumb, stupid, and crazy. And blind, too. Shit, you can't think for yourself. Yeah, you got to have our mind when it's right. If our mind ain't right, then you don't have our mind. You don't need to have our mind. You don't need to have a corrupted mind. You need to have the mind of Christ. Scripture say, follow me. Be ye followers of me as I follow Christ. Not be ye followers of me as I follow myself. You understand that? So, where do we stop at? Oh, we got that. Sisters, don't be painful. Every sister understand it, right? Don't be painful. Full of words. Turn it down. So now, go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 36. So when you teach, in 24, the last precept, the last word says rest. Then you get rest when you teach. Want me to tell you why? Because, remember, what's that, Proverbs 30, Proverbs 31, right? The heart of her husband do it safely trust. Then you're going to be trusting. Your woman in the street, ain't no problem. I trust. She's not scandalous, right? She's not scandalous. She's not scandalous. She's spending our money correctly. Or she's spending her money correctly. She's not overspending, and now I got to pay the bill. I got to pay the tab. All different things. You know what I'm saying? She's going to look well to the ways of her household. Everybody understand that? Y'all sure? Y'all brothers and sisters on her understand that? Brothers, that come from teaching. You got to tell her this. Listen, you know, when we come home from work, I'm gonna do this and that, and then you need to do this and that. And if we need help, we're gonna do this together. We're gonna do this together. But I'll do some things, and you should cook. Yeah, you should look well to the ways of the house. You got to say that. You got to teach that thing. You don't sit there and let her do what she want to do. She come out the world, man. She don't know any of that. And then you mad thinking that she's broken. No, she's not broken. She just has to understand the flow of the truth. Proverbs 31 very quickly. Proverbs 31 and verse 27. Read that.
This is Proverbs 31 and 27. She looketh well to the ways of her household.
She looked well to the ways of her household. What are the ways? She picked up here. She picked up there. She had the pot going on. She had the food going on. Okay? Everybody understand that? She cooked. She cleaned. Read.
And eat not the bread of idleness.
Right. Idle meaning doing nothing. You come to the house, she's not doing anything. Now you got to come in and cook and clean. Yeah, that doesn't make you want to kick her out. I'm being humorous because I'm teaching no brothers to do nothing like that. But that's going to make you feel some type of way. So you're going to have to say something. She's eating bread of idleness. I come home, you're not doing nothing. This not done, brothers. You got to say something. But don't be mean. Try your best. Don't be. When I say don't be, I really mean don't be. When I say try your best, I mean in a fashion like, guess what? You're not going to like what you're seeing. You already got the pressure of the world behind you, man. You came in with the globe on your back, man. You like that. You don't understand oppression. Hard, you're tired, and now you got to come in and you got to try and speak very charitable to the woman. Her feet is kicked up. House is dirty, no food, no plan. That's a level that every man has got to raise to. Let me get to that level. And know that this is what I got to do. I can't do it for you, can't do it for me. But this is what's expected. You got to say something. You got to teach her. You're going to get rest, yes. And sisters, us too. You understand, us too. We got clothes everywhere. We got underwear from the shower still in the bathroom. You got to say something. You're walking around not saying anything to us. That's not right. You got to say something. We didn't flush the toilet. We left the toilet seat up. You came in, sat on the pissy cold rim. You got to say something. But watch your tongue. Because we kings, princes, gods. We know that. We carry that. Remember last class? The spirit of deception. So you're not talking to no fools. You talking to your head. The scripture say, obey your husbands as unto the Lord. So when you speak to us, we know that we supposed to be respected and spoken to respectfully, kind, reasonably. Like, hey, come on. Even if you want to joke and throw it in there, joke and throw it in there. But what you don't do is be offended when you talk to us. Because we understand that we're the head of the house. And that's how things fall apart at home. Out of order. Are we smelling what we're stepping in, man? Okay. So now, you got to say so. There was another thing in her. She looked well to the ways that verse 15, read that.
Proverbs 31 and 15. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household.
So she feeds the house. That's showing you that the sister is doing what? Cooking. So brothers are taking it upon their responsibility to cook, and you're doing it with an attitude. That's because you're not doing what? Begins with a T.
Teaching.
You're not teaching. You're not teaching. And you also have to enforce, right? Yeah, you have to force, meaning you got to be kind of demanding. When I say demanding, meaning, no, go ahead, you get it done. No, well, I'm not doing it. This is, and show the scriptures. It's your responsibility. I'm gonna need you to get it done. And then make the peace, brothers. We gotta make the peace, but we gotta insist. No, I insist that you get it done. And then tell her that's not right. And if she want to live in, I'm always doing everything wrong and that's not right, then that's the path that she's going to take. But you got to say it. Because right is right and what? Wrong. And wrong is wrong. And you can never call wrong right nor right wrong. Right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Verse 30.
Proverbs chapter 31 and 30. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain.
Right. Favor is deceitful. Okay. What is favor? She's popular. Everybody likes her. Nah. We ain't dealing with that. And she's a looker. A lot of sisters in Israel are lookers. Pretty. Nah. I'm dealing with that either. It's vain. Go ahead.
But a woman that feareth the Lord.
What does that mean? A woman that feared the Lord. Say that in another way. Yash.
But a woman that obeys her husband.
That keeps the commandments. Right. Okay. Go ahead.
Shall be praised.
Shall be what?
Praised.
Praised. Okay? I've seen brothers praise women that don't keep the commandments. A woman that don't keep the commandments, you do not praise. What do? We've been saying it all day. Teach. Teach. You sit down and you teach her. She's not keeping the commandments, you teach her. You do not get rid of her. Brothers, that is a trap from Satan. You do not get rid of her. You teach her. There was something about her, there's a lot about her that you went after. You can rekindle that. But first, she's got to be polished up. She's got to be cleaned up. Restoration. Rehab work. She's got to be born again. She's got to change. You got to pray. Do you be praying for these wives, for these sisters out here, brothers? Y'all praying for y'all wives? Ask the Most High to give you a spirit. Can a man teach a woman from the world? I can teach her from the world. Bring her to me. A brother that's in the truth shouldn't have nothing. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Okay? Don't be looking into the world for the spirit. It's not there. Nothing but a child support position. That's what's there. Or some type of disease that you can't get rid of. That's what's there. Ain't no wives for Israelite men in the world. Sisters that's in the truth, ain't no men out there, ain't no husbands out there in the world. You go to the filler station, he playing Master P. Ain't no future in your front end. Who is that? Yeah, ain't no husbands, ain't no spouses in the world. Okay, so now, but she that feared the Lord, the woman that's keeping the commandments, that is the sister to talk about. Okay, verse 25.
Verse 25. Strength and honor are her clothes.
Strength and honor. Okay, this sister got strength and honor. She's strong. She's going to keep the commandments. And the honor part is what? Has something to do with her name. She has what for her name? She has regard.
Right.
She has regard for her name. Does she have regard for her name because she knew how or you taught her how?
Because you taught her how.
Because you taught her how. Yeah, everybody understand that? If she would learn in 1 Corinthians 13. We're going to lose Proverbs. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And we'll get straight to the point, verse 35.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 35. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands.
So what was the question? Is, about the name.
Right.
Did she have that good name because she came with her or you had to teach her? You had to teach her. Strength and honor. She going to honor her name because you taught her to honor her name. You told her what a good name is about. You told her what a bad name is. Okay? A person that's full of, we got to be full of correction. We got to be full of correction. Because reproof of instruction, that's the way. Right there. All right? Go ahead, though.
For it is not. For
No,
it
that's
is.
a-
No, that's okay.
Let them ask their husbands, okay? That was the point. So, let's go back to where was we at? Ecclesiastes chapter 36. Ecclesiastes 36 and 25. Read that.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 25. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled.
What is the hedge? What does a hedge do? A hedge is it's like a thorn sticker bush. Okay, and you put that around your property to keep people from cutting through. You know a man gonna walk through a sticker bush, a thorn bush? Right. He can't get through there. So now you got the woman, now you gotta put a hedge up. The hedge is the commandments. Okay? What is it? What is this? The doctrine of life, the commandments.
19.
Ecclesiastes 19. Okay. Yes, 19 and 19.
Ecclesiastes chapter 19 and verse 19.
Right. Give them a chance. Y'all continue to share the video. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 19 and 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life.
Right. That's going to protect the woman. That's going to keep her from stepping out of bounds. Sisters, you have to notice that about a man. If you are a single sister, you have to notice that about a brother. You want to get married? Sisters, you want to get married. Wanting to get married is not a sin. Moving in haste is a sin. Getting it wrong is a sin, and you will be in sin. So you have to see this. You know, I'm touching both sides. I'm touching the married folk and the single folk. Okay? The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. Go ahead.
And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
Meaning the spirit. So that's what you hedge your possession about, brothers. Everybody understands? So you got to make sure that your woman have this by teaching her this. Okay? And again, sisters, you are sisters. Do sisters like what is this question? I'll go back. Can a man teach a woman from the world to be his wife, right? Or will the Most High bring her to him? Can a man teach a woman from the world? No. You know, when I say no, you know, I'm saying a man should not find a woman, you know, in the streets, because that's forbidden. You know, that's forbidden. The scriptures say, look not about thee in the streets. That's the world. Because he's not looking. What is he looking for? That's how all you sisters end up mentally screwed up and mad at the end of this thing. Because he got a Bible and he gonna pick you. I mean, I don't mean no disrespectful to you, but you don't know anything. You still in your ways. You still have not repented. It's gonna take years for you to grow. You have to grow into a tree of righteousness. When do you plant a seed today and it's a tree tomorrow? That doesn't happen. Or a tree next month. We on spiritual time. It takes even longer. So if you're single, then you don't need to be trying to focus on actually getting married. You need to focus on becoming a person, a righteous person. There's no way a brother should be looking at a woman that's unrepentant, that's unseasoned, that's unlearned, unproven, without a good report. There's no way. You looking for a jam. You looking to get jammed up, man. You were lusting, looking at a woman like that. That's even the same way somebody that's coming to the truth. Sisters show up all perky with a head wrap on. She should barely believe, man. No. You just got to stop trying to mate and hook up, couple up. This ain't the club. Okay? You had something on?
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 7.
Ecclesiastes 7.
In verse 26. And this is also answering the brother question as well. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 26.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 7 and 26. Hast thou a wife after thy mind?
So that's the question. You know what I'm saying? A wife after your mind, keep reading.
Forsake her not.
So that's everything that's the best case scenario. If a brother gonna have a wife, it's gonna be after the spirit is gonna be in order. He's gonna have himself together. The sister gonna have herself together. He gonna prove the sister because the scriptures say, forsake her not. How do a woman have the mind of her husband? Or how do a brother have a wife that has his mind? By dealing in order. The scriptures say, forsake her not. Keep reading.
But give not thyself over to a light woman.
A light woman is a woman that's of the world. A light woman is a woman that's don't know. You know, she just coming into the truth, or she in the world. So that's the question to add to what's coming out to the brother that say, well, can you teach a woman, you know, in the world? The scriptures say, give not thyself over to a light woman, because that's what you'll be doing. You'll be moving in haste, moving out of lust. The sister won't know anything, and then you'll be what? Just dealing out of, you know what I'm saying, fornication, and just dealing with this woman, then letting her know, well, you know, we married before. You know, this is the way it's supposed to be. The Most High say, no, don't give yourself over to a light woman.
All right. So now let's go back. What's with it?
30, when we finish Ecclesiastes 19, we'll be back to Ecclesiastes 26. We still on 25.
Right. So Ecclesiastes 19:19, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. So that's the hedge. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. So that's the spirit right there. You're going to receive the spirit. So you teach a woman to keep the commandments so that she get the spirit from the Most High. Okay? So when we go back to Ecclesiastes 36 and 25, it says where no hedge is. Okay? So now, brothers and sisters, we have to build that hedge around one another to help each other, right? It says they're the possession and spoil. Okay? Because what's going to come through? Spirits are going to come through. So if instead of being a sticker bush, it's going to be that spiritual, that, you know, that doctrine of life. Okay? So now, it says, and he that have no wife will wander up and down mourning. And that's why I was saying, brothers, don't get rid of the woman. Because you're going to, you brothers, you invest in time with the sisters. You invest in time. You, the new creature, you just bonded with this sister. Okay? So now let's go to Matthew chapter 18. Matthew chapter 19. Okay, Matthew 19 and verse 1.
This is Matthew chapter 19 and verse 1. And it came to pass that when Yahushua had finished these sayings, he departed from Galilee and came into the coast of Judea beyond Jordan. And great multitudes followed him, and he healed them there. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read That which he made them at the beginning, made them male and female.
Right. So, question is, they tempted him. They tempted Christ, and they asked him, "Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?" What does that mean? That means for any apparent reason. Yeah. Every cause. They meaning, or there's a lot of causes. So is it lawful for a man to choose whichever cause he see fit? Listen closely. Okay? Listen closely. Whatever reason you see fit that you want to put away the woman, or you say, "This is, I'm done with. I got into an argument, I'm done." That's a cause. You said this to me like that, I'm what?
Done.
I'm going to name all these things. You say I'm done, okay?
All right.
You spent all the money.
I'm done.
You know, you railed about my food.
I'm done.
See, I caught you looking, which is lust. I'm what?
I'm done.
See, every cause. This is what's happening in Israel. You can't be like that. That shows that you are somebody that was not supposed to be what? Married. You're not ready because you don't understand. You don't understand that the Most High say no. Let's continue though. We're going to understand tonight. Go ahead.
Verse
No,
5.
yeah, verse 4.
Verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read?
Have you not read? Okay? Have you not read? All these different reasons say you didn't read, huh? So what is Christ exhorting Israel to do? Read. Okay, so if you read as a brother, you are going to understand your responsibilities on what you're supposed to do in this relationship, in this union. You understand? In this covenant with this woman. You are in a covenant with this woman. You can't break this woman for every cause. There are certain causes that has to happen. I've said this to people, and they say, "I'm still done." I'm like, what is this? You still done? And you see that that you're not justified? You had an argument? Okay. Now go sit down. She didn't listen to you? Okay, what you gonna do? Go sit down. Oh, woman, he didn't listen to you? Okay, what you gonna do? Go sit down. You still got an agreement. Because it has to be a certain cause for y'all to leave. So now we talked about what it takes to remain together. To remain together, it takes what, Israel? Teaching. Teaching. To remain together. Okay? Now I'm going to show you that you cannot break apart. Cannot divorce. Go ahead.
That he which made them at the beginning.
Who is he? Right. And not we ourselves. Here it is that he made us and not we ourselves. So we got to do what he say. That he which made them at the beginning. Go ahead.
Made them male and female.
What does that mean? What does that mean? He made them male and female. What does that mean, brother? He made a what? Pair. He made a pair. He coupled you up. He coupled them up. He said, this goes with this. Right? This goes with this. He himself saw. Let's go to Genesis. Okay. Genesis chapter 3. and verse 18. 2:18. I'm sorry, 2:18. Genesis 2:18.
This is Genesis chapter 2 and verse 18.
Come on, you got it. Oh, when they pages stop, then we'll pick it up a little bit. So we can.
Genesis 2 and 18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone.
So he saw that. He made everything to go with each other. Then he saw Adam. He said, whoa, wait a minute. Damn. Can't leave him out, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey. So when he saw you, what did he say to you? Yeah, I can't leave you out. So then he gave you the person that you have. A lot of times we do what? We judging the appearance, man. You understand? Meaning, sometimes the appearance might fail. You say, I don't want this no more. But you can't do that. The Most High, he tried and searched the reins. He'll take somebody that is base and he'll raise that person up. Man, in other words, they might be of a low spiritual stature, but they're going to come to the fullness of Christ. And us, we hardly guess it right. You might be wanting somebody with the appearance, and they ain't going to never come to the knowledge of the Most High. They will be ever learning, never coming into the knowledge of this truth. That's what that means. You'll be trying to teach them, or there'll be somewhere somebody else will be saying something to them, they never going to wake up. Because it's not, it's not meant for them. The ones that you with, you have to deal with them like this is meant. You gotta put all your spirit into this thing, into trying. Everybody understand that? You gotta put your spirit into it. Okay? So now, go ahead.
I will make him an help meet for him.
I will make him a help. You know where it says meet, equal. Equal for him. So the woman that you got equals to you. The Most High know your mind. That's why the brother brought the scripture, has our wife after thy mind. She's going to grow to get that mind that the Most High gave to you. That's going to be in order. She's going to be equal to you. But a lot of us will be like, no, I want that one. The Lord like, no, not that. This one here, he's going to be equal to you. It's just got to grow. Okay? It has to grow. And you have to be patient. Because the new man and the new woman, it's a day-by-day process. The old man putting off the old woman, putting off the old man, process of time, then they're going to grow. Israel, one man planted, another man water, God get the increase. We have a habit of trying to do all the work ourselves. And then when we're trying to do all the work ourselves, people see something in our face, begins with an F. R. U. Frustration. They see frustration on our face. They see it in our spirit when we're dealing with them. And it makes them feel how? Begins with an O. Makes them feel offended. Because if somebody is doing something for you, if they telling you something, teaching you something, and they have a spirit to where they have lost patience with you, they're not gonna like that, right? We're doing all the work ourselves. So, sisters, you got the husbands that are unbelieving or they dragging their feet. You gotta get some other people involved. Who's y'all teachers? Who's y'all elders? Where's leadership at? Or where's, you know other brothers that are good brothers, but he just might be, because you can have brothers that are dragging their feet in the midst of good brothers, but they don't know it, because when they go around the brothers, they full of shalom and shalom. But when they come home, then they slothful and lazy, and they do what they want to do. They don't listen. They being very destructive. So you got to get, the fellowship of the Spirit involved. This is to the sisters. You have to tell somebody that you need help at home. You don't let him hush you up. Shh, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. I'm telling you this is right. I'm telling you. I'm the head of this. You ain't got to bring. I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And then you be quiet. You supposed to be like, nope. I'm telling anyway. Because he ain't told you that how many times? He ain't told you that 5 or 6 times already. And yet the condition is getting worse and worse. The prayers are hindered. The bills are behind. Y'all getting jacked up. You got to say something. Because he's in sin. Not listening to you. Not taking advice. Hey, Shalom. Not using the help that God put you in his life as a woman. He put you in his life to help him. Equal. Now, when I say equal, meaning you're supposed to bring forth these scriptures to him like he would bring forth the scriptures to you. If he's out of order, then now your benevolence need to kick in, and now you have to say something. Okay, but if the brother is not out of order, Shalom, Damon. If the brother's not out of order, then there's no need for you to, I'm usurping authority, this, that, and the third. No, you're big mouth. That's what that's called. Okay, so did we finish it? I will make him a help meet for him. That's good for him. Okay? That's going to bring forth this thing, this energy. He's going to bring forth. He's going to give it to you. You're capable of transferring it back to him. What's up, brother Tony? Everybody understand that? Sisters, can you do that? Can you transfer it back to him? Not out of sassiness. Not out of I'm lacking patience. You lacking patience. You lacking humility. No. Okay? So now let's lose that and let's go back to Matthew 19.
Hey, can I quickly say something real quick?
Sure.
And, just a little testimony, Brother Judah, just a little testimony. When I met he was on YouTube, not YouTube, on Facebook, doing a class about marriage. And I kid you not, it was probably seconds before I was ready to cut my wife completely out of my life. Before even hearing the words and the Bible going forth with the of the Most High, because then He's going to lead us to how to show us how to be patient with our wives, to love them, because they want to be taught, they want to be loved. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying my marriage is like all perfect. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I go to them all the time about things about me and my wife, but it's so much better now than it ever been before. And I just give all credit to the Most High, because you got to know. And that's all I'm saying. Shalom.
Shalom, brother. All praises to the Most High, man. I'm glad that the council was worked, and you know, it's a beautiful testimony, and you know, I just from experience, I know and understand that, you know, in marriage, it's a lot of rough patches. There's a lot of storms, but there are some sunshine too. You know, and the love that we started off having, in order to maintain that love and continue to see that love, now we got to walk in the Spirit. You know, because we do have an adversary that's trying to, an antichrist. You understand? There are many antichrists, you know, that are trying to come in and bring division in every household in Israel. And if you're not mindful, if you're not careful, you'll let it happen. And so the only way to stay on top of that is that somebody, according to Galatians 6, has got to be spiritual. You understand? Ye which are spiritual, restore such a one. Considering yourself, you know, always being mindful to say, hey man, I'm not gonna let this happen to what? You know, my wife, sisters. Okay? Do you ever, when you in these situations with one another, do you ever be minded to say, hey, you know, the scriptures do say, woe to him that is alone. So okay, I'm not gonna leave you to Satan. So, you know, in the midst of the fight, you know, you have to be praying, and you have to find a way. Let me get back to help my lover. Let me call the person that, right? To help my lover. Let me help you out. Let me help you fight. Do you get what I'm saying? Sisters, let me help my husband. Husbands, let me help my wife. Let me help you fight this. Now, you might not come out and say, let me help you fight this, but you're going to stay there and help them fight by constantly making sure that the thing that you're trying to do is going to bring forth peaceable fruit. Do you understand? Something to where their spirit can now be soothed and eased, and now they can start listening unto you, and the words and the voice of your mouth that the Spirit is trying to speak through you, especially, instead of listening to their thoughts. Because Satan is trying to come through their thoughts. Satan is trying to come in there. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so Matthew chapter 19 in verse 5. Is that what we was?
We finished 4.
Okay, verse 5.
Matthew 19 and 5. And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh.
Right, because he made you from the beginning a pair, not one without the other. And he said that you should be together. So he said that you would leave the father and mother. Okay, so a lot of us, if you have left your house, if you have left the house and you with the woman, you still might brought in some bad teachings, so you got to leave that behind. This is what I was taught in my mother's house, or this is what I was taught. You know, sometimes it might not be a father, it might be an uncle. I was taught this from my uncle. I was taught this from my cousins. You got to leave all that behind. Okay? Everybody understand that? Let's go to Proverbs. Is it Psalms?
45.
All right. Psalms 45. Yeah, and 10.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 45, and verse 10. Hearken, O daughter, and consider, incline thine ear, forget also thine own people.
Right, forget your own people. Who is your own people? The family members. Because they will try and, you know, give you some counsel, give you some advice. You could run to them. No. Okay? Go ahead.
And thy father's house.
Right, in your father's house, meaning everything that you was brought up in your father's house, say for instance, if it's not in the truth. If your father's house was not based upon the commandments, but based upon, you know, some ways that you got, that you kept, that you used to doing. Okay? Y'all know the story about the woman, and what's that, Judges 19?
Yeah.
That she ran back to her father's house. And the Most High allowed her to be destroyed. Everybody take that into your notes in this point of the lesson, and as some homework, read that. Judges, let's go make sure that that's it. The sister, she ran. The Most High said, forget your father's house. She said, nah, I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
That's it? Judges 19? Okay, just read the book of Judges, the 19th chapter. Yes, about the woman. Why did she go back to her father's house? The scripture's going to tell you. She wanted to be free from her husband. She wanted to run from her man. So you sisters, you can't run from your man. The Most High put y'all together. You know, there's wickedness. This world is trying to teach you that it's okay. You know, get you a fresh start. You know, he's tripping. He might be tripping, but it ain't for no other man to straighten it out. Okay? It's for y'all to straighten it out. Okay? So now, let's go back. Matthew 19.
This is Matthew chapter 19 and verse 6. Wherefore, there are no more twain.
Right. There are no more twain. There are no more divided. You see, because, what is it? No, we're not going to read it. That's homework.
Just Judges 19.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole chapter.
That's right.
All right. So, pay attention. Matthew 19, when you read the 5th chapter, not the 5th chapter, the 5th verse, we're going to hook it up with the Psalms. Matthew 19 and 5. For this cause, a man, you're going to leave your father and mother, you're going to cleave to the wife, y'all going to be one flesh. Okay? You're no more twain. So both parties, you got to leaving that house represents cleaving unto your wife, and y'all developing and finding y'all way, that one way that the Most High is instructing that man. So let's remember, this is man of God at this point. So now, sisters, you gotta listen and follow the Spirit according to scriptures through the brother. You cannot at this point take instruction, advice, counsel from the house that you left. And brothers, you can't do the same thing. A lot of sisters have problems with men. They say, oh, he's still a mama's boy. His mama tell him what to do. His mama this, his mama that. No. You obey your parents according to the Lord, but this wife now is one flesh. So you should be instructing and counseling and advising and sitting down and listening to what this sister has to say to make sure that this is profitable and you're not making the wrong move. Not like I'm not saying that, well, she's leading and guiding you and then she's the head. But remember, I mean, if you making moves because of something happened in somebody else's house and your own house is in disagreement, well, where does that leave you? That leave you with a problem. So now let's go to Psalms. Back to Psalms. 1. Psalms 1 and 1. Read that.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Right, because most of the time, our houses that we were born in, they were in sin. So you can't go back and I'm listening to them, I'm doing what they say, I'm taking that advice. No. Now, when you need help, it has to be a godly person. Everybody understand that, sisters? When y'all need help, you have to turn to a godly man whom you know fear the Most High. If your husband don't fear the Most High, well, you know this brother, he fear the Most High. So now I'm going to tell this brother on my husband, yeah, you got to say something. And have him talk. No sister should be talking to a guy and he not even trying to talk to your husband. That's off. You go to the guy to talk to your husband to help you out. Not go to the guy to learn, but he's not trying to fix the husband. You understand? It's like you got a broken car. You go to the mechanic, and now he's riding you around, but he's not going to fix the car. No, he needs to help you. Now it's two of y'all. Now he needs to, listen unto the scriptures that he wasn't seeing before from somebody else. So, but you don't go to somebody else. You go to, they in the world. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Go ahead.
Nor standeth in the way of sinners.
Right. Nor standeth in the way of sinners. What does that mean? The sinners do this, that's what you're doing. Sinners leave for the weekend. Who else leaving for the weekend? What are you doing? You're in the truth. What are you leaving for a weekend? Where you going? You got the bag packed. That's the way they go. Is that the way you go? Go back to Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus chapter 29 and verse 21.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 29 and verse 21. The chief thing for life is water.
You got your bills paid. You got the lights on, water. Go ahead.
And bread.
Right, house and refrigerator.
And clothing.
You got some clothes, read.
And house to cover shame.
Right. So now when some things are shameful, things are not right, where you packing up? Where you going? You stay at home. You don't hit the streets. Who's out there? Sinners. They out there. That's what hoes do. That's what Judges 19 is about. That's why the Lord killed the woman. First thing you do, you get mad. Now you're going to hit the street. The Most High going to judge you. You just don't see it though. The same thing with brothers. Brothers is acting like whoremongers, jumping, running around, this, that, and the third out there. You thinking that you cool? You're going to be destroyed, man. And if you're doing it, you still going to get judged. And if you're thinking about doing it, because what comes first? Thoughts. Thoughts come first. If you're thinking about doing it, you need to repent of the thought, because the thought of foolishness is sin. You need to stop thinking about foolish things. Why? Because you will bring those things into existence. Let's get that precept. Read that again while I find a precept.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 29 and 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing, and in a house to cover shame.
Right, and a house to cover shame. So you don't run from the shame. That's what we have home for. We disagree. That's what we have home for. Right? You stay home and disagree. You stay home and fight. No. You ain't gonna fist fight. Fight the good fight of faith. How y'all like that one there? You stay home and fight the good fight of what you believe in. You stay home and debate your cause between your neighbor, your husband, your wife, between you and him alone. It has to start there. And then if you cannot settle it, then you bring in some outside help. But you stay home. You don't pack up. Okay? Bear with me. If I can't find them, I'm going to keep going. I think the precept goes something like, as a man thinketh, so is he.
As you think in his heart, so is he.
Proverbs 23. Proverbs 23. Yeah.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, and verse 7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he.
For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you keep on thinking about these things, what do you think gonna happen? Every man is tempted and drawn away. You will get drugged away. You will get drawn away because you keep thinking it in your heart. You're supposed to let the past go. See why so many people try and break up? They ain't let the past go. Let the past go. That's your house. That's your home. That's your man. That's your woman. You can't be regretting, I didn't get to do this and I didn't get to do that, and the teenage love affair is over. The sin is gone. The night is far spent. Now is the day. Walk in the light as they that are what? They that are awakened. So now you got to walk like you are awoke. Everybody understand that? Right. Go ahead. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so now, Psalms 1. Psalms 1:1, blessed is a man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. What is the set? To sit in the seat of the scornful. What is that? To sit in the seat of the scornful. Blessed is the man that's not sitting in the seat of the scornful. You know what a scorner is? Somebody that will not be reproved. Does that sound like you as a person? You in that seat now. This seat over there, brothers sit over there. They are rebellious. They are scorners. They don't be reproved. Is that you? You don't want to be like that. So in marriage, you want to be the type of person that will do what? That will humble yourself to what? To the way of the Lord. Correction, the way of the Lord. The Most High said this. Oh, I know he did this and this. Some of you will grudge from here forever. You will be bringing up old stuff. How do we stop that grudging stuff? How do we make it so a person can't grudge against us? We know we can't make them, but can we remember Romans 15, where it says, let each of us please his neighbor to his good?
Yeah.
So in every case, brothers, married brothers and sisters, pay attention to this is something special. In every case and circumstance, get the situation resolved.
Yep.
please your neighbor to his or her good, to his or her what? Edification, and not please yourself. Therefore, they don't have anything to bring back up against you. When they do, you know it's a grudge because you're like, I know I settled that. I saw this, we understood. When I was wrong, I apologize, this, that, and the third. Right?
Right.
So get in the habit of settling these things. And then she don't want to pack a bag. You don't want to pack bags. Because that's not what this is. That's not what it's about. That's unlawful. Let's go back to Matthew 19. You don't want to be sitting in that seat to where you won't be reproved. All right, that was the Spirit showing it to you.
This is Matthew chapter 19 and verse 6. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh.
So y'all understand that? Through thick and thin, hell and high water, there are no more what?
Twain.
There are no more twain, but one flesh. Go ahead.
What therefore God had joined together,
Right, the Most High allowed it to happen.
let not man put asunder.
So I ain't talking about fornication. Stop, pay attention. I'm not talking about fornication. Okay? Let's get 1 Corinthians. First Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 14.
First,
Actually, read 13. No, read 14 first.
1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 14.
Right, read.
Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry.
Oh, no, that's not the one. I need the one that says fornication. 6. All right. 1 Corinthians 6. 6 and 18.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 18.
Right.
Flee fornication.
Flee fornication. Run. See that? Run. What is fornication? Touching. So God didn't put that together. How do you know where the Most High put this together? Because people are willing to work it out. People are willing to keep the commandments. Christ said, my sheep hear what?
My voice.
My voice. Through high hell, what, thick and thin, troublous times, all of that. The sheep of Christ are going to hear the voice. The sheep of the Most High, they're going to hear the voice of Christ. So flee fornication. That means to stop doing what? Having sex. Stop having sex. I see somebody, it's you brothers and sisters, why you think I'd be like, stop that? Stop having sex. Stop it. Stop it. That's unlawful. You just be bumping and grinding, talking about, oh, but this is my man, what this? No, that's you. That's fornication. You need to stop. See, right here. Flee. Yeah, see? Flee fornication. Why? Should we then, where's that at? Go up to verse 15 and read the second precept. Shall I then?
1 Corinthians 6 and 15,
Right.
second precept.
Right.
Shall I then take the members of Christ
You're a member of Christ. You in the truth. Read.
and make them the members of an harlot?
You've been a whore or a whoremonger by having that sex. That's wrong. That's off. That is not marriage. The person ain't nowhere close to in this truth. You learning this truth, and you were in the boyfriend status. They straight rejecting it. You in a girlfriend status. They straight rejecting it. God didn't put that together. You put that together. You can hardly guess it right. You going down the street, the wrong direction. You got to bust a U-turn. You understand? We hardly guess it right. The Lord said, flee fornication. Should you take the members of Christ and make them members of a harlot? You going to make this? You going to turn a whore into a housewife. You going to take a whoremonger, into a husband. A whoremonger into a husband. It doesn't work. And that's why you have so many problems. You think screwing them is just going to you're going to screw them straight. You're going to screw her straight. They're going to turn out good because you screwed them. You're nuts. And you're going to be complaining, crying, boo-hooing. And you're going to be told you're going to the lake of fire and you ain't going to like that. Then they're going to walk off and leave and you're going to blame it on the truth. It's not the truth, it's you. When the scripture straight told you, stop having sex. Flee fornication. You know the person ain't down. You know they not down. You're going to continue to do it. Cleanse yourself. Cleanse your spirit, man. Cut wickedness off from your heart. Circumcise the foreskins of your hearts and be no more stiff-necked. Verse 18, every sin.
Verse 18, every sin.
Every sin, every time you have sex, because that's the sin. Read.
That a man do it.
Every time you do it, read.
Is without the body.
You ain't in Christ. You never looked at it like that. You're not in Christ. You're straight in the bed thinking that you're in the truth. You wash yourself and get on Facebook and be like Shalom, like ain't shit happened. You ain't in the truth. That's what we're reading. That's what we're reading. Is that it?
But he that committed fornication sinned against his own body.
Now, let's say in the second. Now go to the next chapter. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. And I want the part where to remain the same, although loose.
27.
27. Yeah, huh?
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7
and verse 25.
1 Corinthians 7 and 24.
3.
23. Ye are bought with a price.
You are bought with a price. Meaning Christ died, laid down his life, setting an example for you. That got to mean something. Read.
Be not ye the servants of men. Brethren, let every man wherein he is called, therein abide with God.
That's right. So it is going to tell you.
Yeah, right.
So that's the focal point that you're supposed to be in. It's going to tell you. If the Most High called you in and you with somebody, then you got to fight to stay with that person and showing them the scriptures, you with them. You're committed. Some of you in relationship, you got children, you already calling in marriage, or you married. You got to fight to make that work. But then some of you come in and you don't have anybody. Or you was used to girlfriend, boyfriend, bouncing around. So then we're going to teach you to stop bouncing around. That's why we tell you get rid of that. That's what we're calling fornication. Get rid of that. You were bouncing around. You were in no solid committed relationship. We have our senses exercised to tell good and evil. We know, okay, you come in here and you walking with three little children. You understand? And you've been with this woman. We're not telling you to lead this woman. We're telling you to teach this woman. That's something totally different. All right? So now, we'll just stop at verse 25. So, 4 again. Let every man, wherein he is called, stay right there, therein, stay with God. Stay with the Most High. Read.
Now concerning virgins, I have no commandment of the Lord.
Right, a virgin is somebody that you have not had sex. Okay, go ahead.
Yet I give my judgment as one that had obtained mercy of the Lord to be faithful.
Right, he said, I'm giving my opinion. Okay, because virgins want to be married. They want a life. You know, you have a life, but you want to be married. And there's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead.
Verse 26. I suppose, therefore, that this is good for the present distress.
Meaning necessity is good because you might need help. Go ahead.
I say that it is good for a man so to be.
And so there's nothing wrong with a man being what? A virgin. Okay, brothers, there's nothing wrong with you being celibate. There's nothing wrong with the 40-year-old virgin. Okay, go ahead.
27. Art thou bound unto a wife?
Or thou bound unto a wife. Go ahead.
Seek not to be loose.
Divorce. Why would a person want to be loose? Because she doesn't listen. When you get a woman that don't listen, what do we do, brothers? Come on. What do we do? Teach. Teach. Okay? You can't be over busy. You can't be so busy. You can't be so busy. Sometimes you got to hang back. Stay at home then. Brothers say, oh man, yeah, what y'all doing, man? You gonna go and hang out? We're gonna do this? It's like, nah, I'm gonna spend some time at the house, man. You know. You're gonna know, especially when there's a problem, when there's a situation. You know, I came up, if there was an issue about me doing something, I just didn't do it. You know, I'm gonna stay back and I'm gonna teach. Every time there's a situation or a problem, it doesn't matter, we're going to be up all night. I'm going to teach. I'm going to teach. I'm going to teach, I'm going to teach, I'm going to teach. And I pray I'm teaching in the casket. Brother, it's in the casket. Did he say something? You know, you got to teach. Right? You got to always teach the woman. That's what's going to make her polished, man. Right? That's what, you know. So, seek not to be loosed. Brothers, I know you don't like her countenance now. Oh, she's ugly now. She's only ugly because you're mad at her, man. But sisters can have the sweetest spirit when they happy, right? Yes, they cackle, they're small, the laughter, you know. Well, bring that fruit of the Spirit into your house by first and foremost you being an example. And patiently knowing that this is a process that has to happen. One man teach, one man plant, another man water, God get an increase. So let that be the formula for brothers. If you're, you know, they'll become self-righteous. They'll become self-righteous if you do not put that formula and incorporate it into your life. Let's go to the 4th chapter. We're going to read it. I've been quoting it all night. It's not the 4th, it's the 3rd chapter. All right, it's very close. Very close. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, and I'll read it. Verse 1, and I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but unto carnal, even as babes in Christ. I have fed you with milk and not meat. Hitherto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are you able. For ye are yet carnal, and whereas there is among you, the 3rd verse, envying, strife, divisions. Okay, are you not carnal? Is that not wicked? And walk as men? One said, I am of Paul, another Apollos. Is that not wicked? Are you not carnal? Then who is Paul and who is Apollos? But ministers by whom ye believe, even as the Lord gave every man. I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. You see? So that formula has got to be in everybody's life. Okay? Somebody come, when you plant, that means you speak the word, and that's it. When somebody water it, somebody else, they're going to hear it another time, and somebody going to say, that is blank, begins with a C. Confirmation. That's confirmation. The bell is going to go off. They're going to be like, man. Sister's going to be like, the husband told me this. Damn, then they're going to feel convicted. They might feel a little convicted, like, you know what? I should have listened to him. And then when the Most High give the increase, the Most High will open up their understanding for them to understand what? The scriptures. That the brother came out the scriptures and the brother was right. Right? Making the woman in subjection until now the husband. See how this has to work? Okay, so brothers, you can't be all jammed and bunched up because this process, it did not speedily happen. You got to have a patient spirit. And vice versa, sisters. You know, one man planted. That means speak the truth. Speak the truth. Strive for the truth. Say the word. And then let somebody else come and water it. Somebody else, he gonna be like, man, you know, give me some sister's name. Rachel. Rachel, she said that. Damn. She was right, brother. She was right. So then he gonna feel good. Is he gonna feel good because Rachel was right and she told him, and then she like, all right, I'm gonna go sit down, and she didn't get beside herself. He gonna feel good that she was right, but he also gonna feel corrected and cut because he didn't humble herself to her, and he knows that he didn't humble herself like she know it. So now he and the Most High increased him by giving him the understanding and say, yo, man, you got a wife that's right. Yeah. She's righteous. She did what was righteous. Be not deceived. He that doeth righteousness is what? Righteous. Righteous, even as he is righteous. You're going to be like, man, I got a righteous wife. And then I was wrong with that thing. All right? So, it's a process. It's a process that we got to let this thing happen to us. If not, we'll become self-righteous. Verse 7, Corinthians 3:7. So then neither is he that planted anything, neither he that watered it. What does that mean? Or does that really mean that we anything? That we're nothing? It's not saying that we're nothing. What is that saying? That we can't do it alone. Mm-hmm. It's trying to tell us that we can't do it alone. But God that giveth the increase. Now he that planted and he that watered are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his labor. What does that mean? You planted, you did your job, well done, good and faithful servant. You did what you're supposed to do. You got to accept and understand. I'm going to say it again. You got to accept that and you have to understand that. And then you got to LIG it. What that mean?
Let it go.
Let it go. The fact that you planted and you did what? Your job.
Your job.
Say your job.
Your job.
You did your job. Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. You can't force it, can you? When you force it, how does that make us feel? When we force it, I'm going to force it down your throat. How does it feel? It makes us feel angry.
Yeah.
It makes us feel upset. You understand? Once we tell it, and if they're not really receiving it, then we should be thinking like, you need help. Damn, you need help. Because you're not seeing me. You're not seeing it. You need help. So one man planted. Begins with a seed. Confirmation. You need confirmation. And don't be mad or offended or upset or disappointed that they have respect, that they might have respected persons. Don't be mad. Everybody understand that? Because this is telling you that it needs watering. You just put the seed there. And then it's going to take the Most High to help them to see that the two witnesses, because these are the two witnesses, that the two witnesses was right all the time. Do you understand that? This is what it takes. This is the process that is not inside the house. And this is why these houses are stumbling, they're failing. And you think that you need a divorce. You do not need a divorce. You do not need to be separated. You do not need to be divided. You need to come on one accord in the process of the scriptures. That's what you need. Okay? So now, Did we finish that? But God, the last part of 7, did I read that? I read that. Verse 8. So you'll get the laborers, you get reward for doing your job and understanding your job. Verse 9, for we are laborers together with God. Ye are God's husbandry, meaning like a farmer, tiller. Ye are God's building. Okay? So let's lose that. Back to 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and 27. Are thou bound to a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Are thou loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife. Why? Because it's a weighty matter, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a weighty matter. Okay? It's very, very important. It's very, very serious. That's what weighty means. It's very, very serious. It's not easy. It's a whole nother human being that now you got to be with the rest of your life. Okay? But, and if thou married, thou hast not sinned. Okay? So you didn't sin. Unless you get out of order with it. Right?
Yes, sir.
You going around singing, I'm in love with a stripper. You go to the flesh. Friendship of the world is enmity with God. So you go into the world and get somebody, you're going to become the enemy of God. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay? And if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. Once and all. There are procedures to this marriage thing. Okay? Nevertheless, such, meaning those that are married, shall have trouble in the flesh. So he knows that. And everybody that is married knows and understands the troublous times that we have coming back on one accord with the spouse. Okay? Does everybody understand that? All right. Let's see. Let's lose that. Back to Matthew 19.
Verse 7 now?
Yeah. What
Matthew
for that?
19, verse 7.
No, we didn't finish. Did we finish 6?
Yeah.
Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God have joined together. So we have to exhaust every avenue. Okay? Don't put asunder. Let not man put asunder. So you can't just do away with the one. Sisters, you can't just do away with the husband. All right? Let's see.
Hey, Sam.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so I got a general question. You probably covered it already based off everything you taught on this topic so far. I wanted to know if a brother is in the truth for, working on himself for a while, or a long time or whatnot, how would he know when he is either ready for, his wife, or either, how would he know when he is prepared for, to marry or to find his wife when he has worked on himself long enough? Like, how do you able to tell?
Okay, so good question. Go ahead. What you say? Is it?
I'm speaking on a single brother, not people that who are together already and when they married. I'm talking about a single brother.
Okay, so his question was, how can we tell if you are ready, a single brother? All right. How can he tell? Using the scriptures. Jamie. How can he tell if he's ready,
He
a
got,
single brother?
well, that brother would have to ask his brothers and the elders, and he still have to wait.
So he's going to ask his brothers and his elders, and he still have to wait. Okay, anybody want to help him out? Obadiah. So I want to know, okay, so y'all got the elder involved. Okay, go ahead. What'd you say? Huh? Okay, who else want to help him out? Dwada? Use the scriptures. I expect you to get a precept. Turn that blinker off. Somebody got a blinker on. Or mute your phone. Yeah, and mute your phone. Okay, Romans. Several things, we'll just, Romans chapter 6. In verse 17, read that.
This is Romans 6 and 17. But God be thanked that ye were the servants of sin,
Go ahead.
but ye have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered you.
Right. So that's the first thing that we should consider. That we have obeyed from what? That we have obeyed from the heart the doctrine that was delivered unto us. Okay? Jump down to verse 18. Do you read that?
Verse 18.
Right.
Being then made free from sin, ye became the servants of righteousness.
Right. Understand that? Read it again.
This is Romans 6 and 18. Being then made free from sin, ye became the servants of righteousness.
Right. Now that you're the servant of righteousness and you've made free from transgressing the laws, statutes, and the commandments, you should know and know how to lead and guide a woman. Because what are you doing? Go to Matthew chapter 6. Matthew 5. And verse 19, start at the second part where it says, but whosoever shall do.
This is Matthew chapter 5 and 19.
Second precept.
Second precept. And shall teach men.
But whosoever.
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Right, so if you're doing and you're teaching the commandments, then you're ready to take on marriage. So now, to add to that, let's go to Exodus chapter 21. Exodus chapter 21 and verse 10. Read that.
This is Exodus chapter 21 and verse 10. And if he take him a wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Right, so if a brother is going to take a wife, then he should be, now get 1 Timothy 5, he should be prepared to make sure that he's going to feed this woman, he's going to clothe this woman, and he's going to do the duty of marriage unto this woman, which consists of teaching this woman, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 14:34, where she would learn she needs to be taught at home. Okay, 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 8. So this showing you that this brother that we must provide. Read.
1 Timothy 5 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
But if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith.
That's right. So, brother, you don't want to, brothers is laying up, being pimps. letting sisters to provide, and sisters should financially help. But if brothers, if you're not providing and you're just laying up, letting women take care of you, you are a pimp. You are an American pimp, and you're going to be destroyed. You are worse than a non-believer. Okay? So we have to provide. Okay? So now, let's go back to Matthew 19. You had something?
Yeah, real quick.
Pew!
Back to 1 Corinthians 7.
We're going back?
Yeah.
We got to go forward.
But this is a main factor because one of the things, like part of the question that Hezekiah asked, he said, how do a brother know that he's ready for a wife or ready to, seek a wife and things like that. So back to 1 Corinthians 7 and 27.
1 Corinthians 7 and 27. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Art thou loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife.
So that's like a key point in his question, because the scriptures is letting us know that a single brother, even if that brother is ready, he ain't seeking a wife. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say seek not a wife, because the Most High is going to show you and present to you the woman, you know what I'm saying, that's for you. Because if we seek it, then guess what? We may make a mistake. And then be choosing and looking when that ain't what the Most High got in store for you. So I just want to touch on that point again. The scripture says seek not a wife. So even if you're ready, that don't mean that, okay, it's time for you to have a wife. The Most High going to determine. The Spirit going to show you. Everything, all the props and everything going to be in place for that single brother to, take a woman.
Okay, right. All right, so back to Matthew 19. So the elder part is, because I know that we heard brothers say that get the elder involved and stuff like that. That actually is correct. So let's show the scriptures on that. Please ask us 37. And verse 16.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 and 16. Let reason go before every enterprise.
Let reason go. Marriage isn't, brother, that's a big step right there. So you know how big an enterprise is? Huge. Okay, read.
And counsel before every action.
And counsel before every action. It didn't say some. Every action. It's not talking about, well, should I buy a soda pop? No, man. It's talking about major events. Life-changing, life-altering circumstances. Who knows the congregation? The elder do. So what if you as a brother is interested in a fornicator? You don't know she's a fornicator. You see her with her head wrapped up in the Bible. The elder knows she's a fornicator because she confesses her faults. She's looking for advice. She's looking. She don't want the Most High. She don't want the judgment of the Most High to fall upon her. So as an elder and leading guy, so she comes, I'm sorry, listen, can you help me with this? And you, as a young brother, you crush and hard. You like, I got a crush. Oh, man, I like this woman, man. She's zealous. I know what you don't know. So you say, yo, what do you think about, what's her name? Leah. We don't use Leah. What do you know about Leah? Say, yo, brother, she's not ready. I ain't going to tell you that she's fornicating. I'm just going to tell you, because she trusted me with her secret. So I'm going to say, yo, brother, she's not ready. And then I'm gonna tell you, you're not ready too. Why?
Right.
Because you chose a fornicator to be interested in and didn't prove her. So your thoughts were based upon what? The appearance. Brother, that's not. You're gonna choose the wrong thing. So y'all brothers and sisters that are fighting this fight, please continue to fight it. You are doing a grandstand. I mean, you actually look good. You actually look good. Don't defile it. I've known brothers that, you know, I known brothers that been in this truth and that waited, and the Most High has blessed them, you know, that has blessed them, man, with children. You know, I just give you an example. I don't talk to this. I just saw an amazing picture today. Kanai Gabor over at IUIC. And I don't talk to those brothers, you know, but I don't think that brother had a wife, you know. No. When I met him, before IUIC was IUIC and we was a other regime under just the 12 tribes of Israel, that was the name of the banner that we all was under. Now that brother has a wife, one wife and 13 children. Fruitful, brother. That's an example of what, right? Just waiting and being patient and letting the Most High, all of his children, man, come out of his loins. We're standing there with them. That was a beautiful picture, man. So you Israelites that y'all out there, man, and y'all just legs are charming like a cricket, the Lord is going to burn you. He going to get you good. You better stop it. Please stop it. Get Proverbs 6 so I don't threaten you like the scriptures correct you. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 25. Lust not. Read that.
This is Proverbs 6 and 25.
Right.
Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids.
You see that? Scripture say, don't go off her looks, my man. Read.
For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread.
First you was a man of valor. Now you ain't nothing. The whorish woman brought you to nothing. Sisters, first you would be an honorable sister favorite. But because of lack of patience, you said the Most High is not, he ain't going to do this, he ain't going to do that. This man just brought you lower than a piece of bread. Read.
And the adulteress will hunt for the precious life.
Y'all see that? That's telling you that a person that's a whoremonger, they going to search you out. They're going to look, in their mind, they're like, oh, she's clean, I want to hit that. That's what he's like, oh, she ain't been dealing with no man, I want to hit that. I wonder how I feel. That's this nigga, that's how you gonna think. And brothers, the sister will be like playing in the background like, oh, he ain't, you know, he ain't been with nobody and he gonna go crazy on me. So they will be after you. Y'all can't let that happen. Go ahead.
Verse 27. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned?
That's a question. Can a man take fire in his bosom? Can you take coals and put them in your underclothes and not feel the heat? Boy, you're going to be roasted. Read.
Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned?
So is he that goeth into his neighbor's wife. Whosoever toucheth her shall not be innocent. It's the same. So is the person that commits the act of what? Unlawful sexual things, man. You gonna be destroyed. It's like you're gonna be burned. Okay? So now lose that. Let's go back to so we can finish. Matthew chapter 19. Okay, Matthew chapter 19 and 7
Matthew 19:7. They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away?
Right, so Christ was letting Israel know that the Most High created them to be together from the beginning. So the Most High said, don't put asunder. They say, well, why did Moses command Israel to just give her some paper in her hand? Who wants some paper? Don't you see when people get served the act of divorce, they get papers assigned? Don't you see their disposition on how they feel? They wasted all time with you. And now all of a sudden they're going to get served with some papers, get their name back. And that's why they try and rob each other to the fullest. They try to retaliate. And they try to retaliate. They try to take all your money and leave you with nothing. That's because it hurts. How would you like it to not have anesthesia and cut half of your body off? I mean, they just take an arm off. Screaming and hollering. You like, this is the death of me. Ah! Ah! That's how cutting your flesh off from you feel. You're destroying and taking a person's life. Because they trusted you. They were with you. They trusted you. It's a spiritual thing. To where they gave you their heart, their mind, their body, their soul. They gave that to you on earth, knowing, yeah, it belonged to the Most High, but y'all are intertwined now. So people don't take that like a grain of salt. They don't take it like that. Oh, this is a grain of salt. Ain't no biggie. Here. You're wrong for that. That's why this is so serious. The institution of marriage is so serious that you better spend a lifetime making sure that this person that you're trying to be with is the person that you're going to grow in age with, man. Not that, oh, I see this and I'm going to tap it. Or you see he got a big upper body and you want him to hold you. That is great wickedness. That's how the world thinks. The world not thinking about the future. They thinking about the present. And they're thinking about the present. They're not thinking about the future. That's why each and every last one of you that have turned your life around to the Most High in Christ, you have got to think about the present or the future. That's right. You got to think about the future. And if it's and thinking about your future, you investing in your future, you got to make sure that you invest in the right person that's going to walk with you on that path that no man could go but one at a time. There's a far on one, a deep water on the right, that they're going to listen to you. And you're going to listen to them, and y'all going to know. Y'all going to get to know one another. All right? Go to Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus 27:6.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 27 and verse 6. The fruit declareth if the tree have been dressed.
The fruit declared. So actions is going to tell you if this person is ready. You got to have confirmation. You got to know for sure. It ain't no rush. Do not rush and jump into bed with somebody. Do not rush and make a commitment to somebody, even a verbal commitment. Don't do nothing long distance. Don't do nothing verbal. The action. Sit back and watch and see, what is this brother doing? Because if it's meant, the Most High gonna put it together. If he gone down the road, guess what? He was meant to go. The sun don't float off. The moon don't float off. The stars don't fall. Everything is in order but us. We have got to have more faith in the Most High. That's the reason why We keep fussing and keep fighting, and like, I can't deal with this no more. You got to put your ears and your eyes on this person. After you have declared, after you have gotten yourself together, and you at a point in your life to where, hey, you ain't sitting in a seat of scornful, nor standing in the way of sinners, nor taking counsel from the ungodly. You righteous, and if you straight righteous, you gonna want to be with somebody wicked? Hell to the no. I won't know nothing like that. You put all this work in yourself, and then you gonna give yourself over to just to 2/3? That doesn't make sense. I can't understand that thing. So if you value yourself, then you're going to value the person that you're interested in. And if this person doesn't fit the standard, why are you looking? Why are you even thinking like that? It's called lust. So now, let's go back. Did we finish? Was that 7 and 6? The fruit declared if the tree has been dressed. Yeah, that's all. Let's go back. Please ask us 19.
Matthew chapter 19.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Matthew 19.
In verse 8. He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so.
Right. Moses had so many situations that he had to deal with. Give me a hardness. Give me the hardness of the hearts. Give me the hardness of the hearts. I tell you what, if somebody ever made in the world, because Israel was in the world, if somebody ever made you mad and you got rid of them, that's the hardness of your heart. Name some situation that it could have been rectified. What was it, chapter and verse? So that was, we just came from Ecclesiastes chapter 27 and 6. Now we at Matthew 19 and verse 8. Just give me an example.
You find out that your woman is sitting down talking to another man.
You find out that she's sitting down talking to a...
It looked as if...
No, I mean... Okay, well, what was it talking about?
Right.
So, you know, that's hardness right there. That's acceptable. Because if you don't know what they're talking about, or you didn't trust her word, man, she got the axe. What else? She didn't cook like, so you gave somebody the axe because she didn't cook like your mama. Dang, that's the hardness right there. Your wife here, you don't got to tell yours. She looking, she like, where did he get rid of somebody for? Go ahead and tell it, Rev.
Well, you know, and this is like, if your woman like take money out of the account or something like that, or you know what I'm saying?
Did somebody take money out the account? We're not dealing with some. We want to. These are real life examples, man. What did somebody do from the hardness of your heart? Moses had to deal with everything under the sun, and these things were wrong, man. Yeah. So what did they do? Come on, you're on my time. What did they do? We gotta get out of here. Y'all tell me, what did somebody out of the hardness of their heart you gave them the X for? When you were in the world, you gave them the X. This was wrong. It was wrong. You can't do that. These are real life examples. You still stuttering ain't came up with nothing. Maybe it wasn't nobody. Maybe you didn't, you know, say you're the only one to love. That's fine, man. God bless you, sister. He ain't got nothing to say. Go ahead and do it. He like the person that don't want to prove that they ain't a virgin. Or they want to prove that they ain't a virgin, but they really is. That's okay, brother. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Oh, they didn't listen.
They didn't listen. You gave them the axe because they didn't listen. Okay. Had another guy sign my name on a card. Damn, brother. Wow. Yeah, she was using you, man. Dang, brother. Lack of respect. Woman left tinkle on the seat. She come to my house, and there was a little tinkle on the seat. I guess when you stand up, you get some droppings, right? I'm like, oh, man, I can't deal with this. What is this? Yeah, I was conceited. I was tripping. You know, now in the truth, I know, you know. Constantly arguing and cussing. You name it. You see that? Guess what? These are the same things that we put up with each other and we be like, I'm done. And we'll start disliking each other over that. The very same things happening right now, we will start disliking each other over this type of stuff. Who gonna help you let tinkled on the seat? What's that little sign they made up? If you sprinkle when you tinkle, tinkle be a sweetie and wipe the seedy. I guess I should have had that sign. Oh man, I didn't have the sign. But these are the things, man, that Moses was like, y'all tripping, man. Just what? Do it. Whatever, you know. So let's get back. Matthew 19. He said unto them, 19 and 8, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. So everything that we just said straight got cut. We were wrong in all of that. So all of you brothers and sisters that are how you say it? Fueling. You fueling, you're fighting, burning passion over that stuff. That's not valid. This is the point. You're not valid. Oh, she gained a few pounds. She came in 145, thick as a brick. Now she 175. That's not valid. Then you got to do what? Teach. You got to change the diet. You understand? You can't do that, man. Hardness of your heart. She got lazy. Then now you got to teach her not to be lazy. Hardness of your heart. All right, verse 9, read.
And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committed adultery.
That's right. Plain and simple. That's the act. If they go out and they bump somebody else, that's over. They go out and touch somebody else, that's over. You can't touch. Whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and then go and sleep with somebody else, the Lord said, you committed adultery. You married another, you committed adultery. Read.
And whoso married her, which is put away, doth commit adultery.
Why is that? Because she's another man's what? She's another man's wife. And what should she have done? Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7. What should she have done? I'm going to let y'all find it. Y'all out there, y'all find it too. What precept am I going to in 1 Corinthians chapter 7? Oh, no, that's not finna be right. That's not finna be right. So that's on me. The circumstance is no, we still can use 7.
Yeah, it's still 7.
Okay. 7:39. I just give it for time constraint. 1 Corinthians 7:39. And we'll backtrack. Because she got put away. The husband. The husband put her away. But he put her away for fornication. Because would it be right if he fornicated? Check this out. Would it be right? That's tricky. So you got to think. Would it be right if he fornicated and put her away, and now she's got to wait for him to die? I'm at 1 Corinthians 7. Okay? Let's reverse it. Okay? This is going to make you think. Everybody ready? Wait till him stop to turn pages, because he's thinking about something else and not what we're saying. You'll be out saying something totally different. Let's put it on us. Our wife fornicated. She bumping some cat strong. Damn. She's gone. She's gone. We got to put her away. Put the old dog down. Right? Can we marry? Can we marry? Yeah. Yeah? We have no wife. Can we marry? You sure? She fornicated. We lawfully put her away. So you can, okay. Yes. We can. So now, the guy fornicated. The guy fornicated. He out bumping some girl. It's not marriage. It's fornication. I know y'all thinking. Can she marry? Right. Why? Listen. I know, listen, don't twist it up. You can't be unjust. You cannot be unjust. And if you can't, you cannot be unjust. Because listen, see, I know that's what you've been thinking, but think about this. I've been pounding on this for years. Not just months and days and hours. If it's not a man bound to his wife as long as she lives and she's keeping the commandments, huh? He have a civil, righteous, moral, commandment-keeping duty to provide for her and deal with her, right? If she fornicates or commits the act of adultery, she is defiled and corrupted herself. She is free from that law. He is free from that law. He got to let her go. Right? What would make the woman bound, although the husband did the exact same thing? That would be an unjust weight and balance. She will be bound for life because he is a fornicator. You'll be bound for life. Now, hold up. I'm going to show y'all and give you the understanding to the precepts that y'all want to, that we want to use. Because this has been a question. Nobody's addressed it. Nobody's had the kahunas to come out and say it. I'm flat saying it. They don't want to say it because guess what? They out here screwing around and leaving a woman at home. That's what they're doing. And then they coming home after a weekend of doing it and saying, I can do it, but you can't. That's wicked as hell. Okay? Nobody can do it. Nobody can do it. So now, let's deal with the precepts that we want to use. Go up to 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 10.
1 Corinthians 7 and 10. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband.
Right, go ahead.
But and if she depart, let her remain unmarried.
So that's true. Go ahead.
Or be reconciled.
Or be reconciled. See, why can she be reconciled? Why can she be reconciled?
Why should she remain unmarried?
No, stop.
No, she can be reconciled because he didn't commit a transgression worthy of being banished.
Or she didn't.
Or she did.
Or she didn't. Or she didn't. Do you understand? She, for the hardness of her heart, just threw in the towel. So I'm done with this. I'm sick and tired. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this. You don't listen. I'm tired of you. I'm done. I'm over. She got mad and she said, enough is enough. I'm done. The scriptures say, no, you're not done. You have to go back into your husband. Okay? Everybody see that, right? Go back to verse 39. This is the one that y'all want to use.
1 Corinthians 7 and 39. The wife is bound by the law.
The wife is bound by the law. Go ahead.
As long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married unto whom she will.
So now, they're together. Ain't nobody broke. Ain't nobody did nothing. She cannot leave. He ain't did it. She cannot leave. He ain't transgressed the law. She cannot leave. Now, if he dies, then she can go. Okay? If he dies, then she can go. We cannot twist that and just be one flip-flop sided. We got a woman that fornicates. She gone. Remember, the scripture is written in masculine form. She's gone. And it's written to us. She's gone. And now we bound to her as long as she's alive. It's not our wife no more. She's gone. Jump over to verse 15.
Verse 15. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart.
Go ahead.
A brother or a sister is not under bondage.
Stop. What is to be in bondage? Bound. A brother or a sister, if they are unbelieving and they go and commit that act, the scriptures say, let them go. You are not bound. Go ahead.
In such cases.
Right. In such cases. A lot of different cases. Go ahead.
But God had called us to peace.
Right. So now, I hope we clear. I know the bombshell just got dropped because nobody never, Israel is scared to say it. But it's true. Okay? Let's see, did we cover everything? Are there any questions before we go? Because I think we're going to wrap it up. Can you remarry if you were ignorant to the truth? At the time, neither one was in the truth. Will you be forgiven by the Most High? What if he was always saying that his house, he was always saying that his house, that this his house, and carrying his baby mama throughout y'all marriage, and also called the police on you for no reason? Okay. Let's go back to Romans 6. The answer is yes. I'm going to read this. This is a bold statement. and I want y'all to ponder on it. Don't throw rocks. It says, can you remarry if you were ignorant to the truth? And at the time, neither one was in the truth. That's telling you right there. Will you be forgiven by the Most High? Most definitely. You'll be forgiven by the Most High. But once you in the truth, then you must live in the truth. You got to put the past behind you. That's just like us brothers. We had all these different relationships. We called these sidekicks our wives. So this is my wife, man. Yeah, this is my wife, man. But yet and still, what did we do? We ran off. We walked off for the hardness of our heart. We was ignorant to this truth. We came into this truth. We started applying the law, statutes, and the commandments. And then we started looking for a woman that wanted to keep the commandments. We can do that, but y'all as a woman, you can't do that? I'm not teaching that. That's not right. I'm not right. That's not right. Every person that comes into Christ is a new creature. And once you become a new creature, now you get one shot. You get one shot. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. Okay? So now, going back to Romans 6 for a reason. Romans 6 and verse 17.
Romans 6 and 17. But God be thanked that ye were the servants of sin.
That you were the servants of sin. So when you was in that relationship, you were serving sin. Go ahead.
But ye have obeyed from the heart.
But now you obey from the heart. Go ahead.
That form of doctrine which was delivered you.
So now it was delivered unto you. And remember, if any man be in Christ, he is what? Here's a new creature. So don't the new creature get a shot at it. Right. And that's why you cannot be in the truth running around Israel laying down, because the Most High is going to destroy that. You can't do that. Everybody understand that? Right. So when you come in the truth, you come in to repent. You don't come in, trying to couple up and hook up. So like, it's contingency. It's contingency upon if you're in a relationship. You got strings attached. I'm going to be in the truth. But the string that I need to keep me in the truth is that, hey, I got to have a woman, man, because, I can't be by myself. No. That's not how we live. We come in here to stop lasciviousness. We come in here to stop all of that. And I understand that you got deep ties, not just the sister, but we got deep ties to our past. We got children. We got people that we cared about. We got people that we love. We got deep ties to the past. But don't none of that, when we show up to the house of the Lord, don't none of that matter no more. Because Christ's going to give you a family. He's going to give you a mother. He's going to give you a father. He's going to give you a sister. He's going to give you a brother. He's going to give you a husband. And he's going to give you a wife. And everything, all your sins are going to be forgiven. All you got to do, it takes time to get and accumulate all of these things. It takes time. And you got to realize that it takes time. It's going to take time for you to trust. Because everybody in the world duked you over. They robbed, they stole you, they lied to you, they abused you, they used you, they came sideways. And you got wolves in sheep's clothing, even in the truth. But the only way that you're going to be able to see the true worshipers of the Most High is that you got to be after the Spirit of the Most High yourself. So therefore, like they say, game recognize game, Spirit going to recognize the Spirit. You're going to see the Spirit on somebody. And you're going to be able to weed them out, weed them out, weed them out, because you're here for the truth, not here for the same wickedness that you participated in over the last 25 years. Christ said that you shall know the truth, and the truth going to set you free. It's going to set you free from that past. Okay? But many people, they get discouraged because they run into the wolves that devour them. Verse 19.
I speak after the manner of men, because of the infirmity of your flesh. For as ye have yielded your members servants to uncleanness, and to iniquity unto iniquity.
Right, sin unto sin, man unto man, woman unto woman. Read.
Even so now yield your members servants to righteousness unto holiness.
That's right. Now you're going to yield your members servants to, of righteousness to unholiness. That, listen, all this sister did was ask. Say, for instance, some woman, she boldly came out and asked the question. But what's the difference between a woman coming in here, sitting down, ain't told you diddly squat about her past, with a head cover on, a dress cover, a Bible, and started to learn, and was here for a few years, and you know nothing, she told you nothing, you would say, no, you can't get married? You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that. You would be like examining and counseling advice. And then you'd be like, yeah, what's the difference? It ain't no difference. It's just that this person came out and said, hey, I was in a relationship in the past. Now I'm in the truth. Am I going to be forgiven for my relationship? And can I be married? Yeah. Ain't no difference. Ain't no difference. How many percent of the brothers in this truth have virgins? Y'all want to been with somebody before? But you still stick your feet up under the table in front of her. Ain't no difference, man. Ain't no difference. Now, can a sister be in a relationship? Verse 22.
Verse 22. But now being made free from sin.
Can a sister be in a relationship in this truth, in a marriage in this truth, being made free from sin? Go ahead.
And become servants to God.
And she becomes servants unto the Most High. Stop. Can she leave and go and deal with another guy? No. No. The difference is she knows, the other sister is ignorant to the truth. She didn't know. She was feeling her way like we was feeling our way. If we're sons of the Most High, are they not his daughters? They his daughters. Okay? So he's gonna deal with us, his sons and his daughters. Okay? Go ahead.
Ye have your fruit unto holiness.
Right. You have your fruit unto holiness. Go ahead.
And the end, everlasting life.
This is how you know that you are a changed person. Because now you free from sin, you serving the Most High, and everything you're doing is about holiness. If you still sliding and oopsies, my badsies, you tripping. That's not holiness right there. You have not repented. And the thing about it, and then I'm going to shut it down, it's over. The game that you playing is, some of you think that, oh, when I'm through playing, the Most High is going to give me a righteous man or a righteous woman. That might not happen. Because the wages of sin is death. Read that.
Verse 23.
All right.
For the wages of sin is death.
Right, so you might end up getting destroyed. That thing might be the death of you, even though you live 1,000 years. That might be the death of you, or 10 years, 10, 15 more years. That might be about 1,000 years, a long time. You deceived yourself. The Most High is not going to take a righteous man and give to you, sister, and you in the spirit of fornication. And you've been living and you stuck there and you stayed there. But you never brought forth fruit to holiness. But you want a righteous man, but for right now, you need tapping. No. The Most High is not going to give you his son because his sons are destined for eternal life, immortality. They have put off the flesh and put on immortality. They have put on that, man. And the same way, brothers, you sitting here, you want a righteous woman, God-fearing woman, submissive woman, a graceful woman, a woman full of discretion. You all over the place. Why would the Most High destroy your sister by putting her with you? The Most High ain't going to put no sister with you and you doing that. The Most High is going to put the righteous with the righteous and the wicked with the wicked. That's it, Israel. That's it. So choose what you want by being the person. Be the person that you need to be. Okay? I'm saying it right?
Yes.
What you want, be that type of person. What you want, be that type of person. That's what I'm saying. We got to go, y'all. Matthew 26. Look for the crack. All right, Israel, all praises. We ran over. I tried. Don't want to talk part two, though. So I hope that this helps a lot of struggling people that is born in their houses with marriage. Okay, that's fine. That's but to throw in the towel. And I hope that I helped that through the Spirit we are able to help a lot of brothers and sisters that were, interested, all praise to the Most High, is interested in seeking, some support. Yeah. Yes, sister. Something can destroy us 10 years from now? Of course. The Lord said, in your security thou shalt be destroyed. The Most High will get you. The Lord remember what Agag did to Israel, the Agites, what they did to Israel. Israel got their weight up. He told Saul, go get them. The Most High is not going to play around. It's not going to play around. So Matthew 26, y'all. They're going to have me in trouble over here. Somebody asked me, I don't know if it was one of my sons or my daughter, I said, Dad, when you say this is one last scripture, well, how come it just be another scripture and another scripture and another scripture? I said, but he understood. I said, because people, they ask questions, and when they ask questions, then I have to answer that question. So he said, oh, okay. So now when Yahushua was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came up to him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahushua, whom the world calls Jesus, understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body. She did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman have done be told for a memorial of her. So all praises to the Most High for giving his sister the Spirit to come forth and give Christ some comfort for his burial, and also bring forth a beautiful example of the fruits of the Spirit, of a broken and contrite heart, okay, which the Lord said he will not despise. So now, Israel, if you got the communion, now will be a good time to get it. We're going to 1 Corinthians 11, and 23, all right? The book of 1 Corinthians 11 and 23. For I received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahushua, whom the world calls Jesus, and the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, take, eat, this is my body which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you do show the Lord's death till he comes. So the Lord's saying we are showing his fellowship. We're showing the fellowship of the Christ, that we believe in the law, section, and commandments of the Most High, and the Christ, the Savior of Israel. All right, our Lord and Savior, the King. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you do show the Lord's death. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. So at the end of the day, the Lord is asking Israel to, hey, be serious, okay? Be serious. Make the commitment. Because if we're not straight, if we're not seriously trying, then we're just going to bring more judgment upon ourselves. Because the life that we have to live, who's left? You on him? I'll make it enough.
You can take that out.
Because the life that we live, all praises, the life that we live has to be a life of examples. And those examples have got to be seen, you know, in the midst of the congregation, okay? And so being in the midst of the congregation, Israel's going to see how to have self-control, like what we were dealing with. How to raise your children, how to correct your children, how to live, how to be married, what a wedding feast look like. You know, they're going to see the righteousness of the Bible. The word is made flesh in us. And taking this communion represents the Messiah. Now we are each messengers in this truth, being ambassadors of Christ. And so everything that we do, we have to take it literal, man. We got to take it literal, and we have to be adamant about it, and only led and guided of the Spirit and not of the flesh. And that's why if you eat this thing unworthily, you're going to eat judgment to yourself. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. If we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. What is he saying? Judge yourself. Stop yourself from sinning. Okay? But when we are judged, we are chastened. So we continue, and the Lord, after get to us, he said, we'll be chastened. Okay? We're chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. So the Lord said he got to come in and stop you. Stop you from sinning. So you think that he's going to just use more words? He had already been using words by his servants, the prophets. Now he's got to lay hands on you. And then laying his hands on you is going to hurt. Is that Psalms 43 or 41, where David said that his hand pressed sword? Let's grab that very quickly, and that's it, y'all. Y'all know what this is. It ain't 43. 30, is it 34? Okay, it's 4. Psalms 38. Y'all read Psalms 38 too with this lesson, with the homework. This will be a good lesson. Please don't forget Psalms 38 and 1, 32, let's see, 31. Psalms 38 and 1, Lord, rebuke me not in thy wrath, neither chasten me. See, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned. Neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. So the chastening of the Lord is going to be in the Lord's displeasure. For thine arrows stick fast in me, and thy hand presseth sore. So the Lord said, man, David said that the hands of the Most High was so hard upon him, there is no soundness in my flesh. Do you know what soundness is? Strength. He said, well, so you ever been in the hospital and you was so weak, you couldn't barely walk or you couldn't pick nothing up. It was no soundness because of thine anger. So either we're going to stop or we're going to let the Most High put this upon us. So I ain't going to finish because y'all want me to finish and go through it, but I want y'all to read it. Y'all read it. Don't forget too. All right? Most High in the name of Christ, thank you for the food and drink. Amen. This is body which is broken for you. Verse 5. My wounds stink. He said he was the Most High had put sores on him, and David said he was stinking. And are corrupt because of my foolishness. Don't let the Most High step in and get you. You ain't gonna like it. This is blood. All right, Israel, that's it. We're gonna stand and face Jerusalem. Our praise to the Most High. I pray that we was able to help somebody today. All right, let's go. Stay around for the prayers. Okay, Israel.
If every man was just like me, what kind of sanctuary would this be?
Lord's Prayer, Matthew 6 and 9. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debt to us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
The laborers prayer, Luke 10 and 2. Therefore said unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the labors are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. Bless you, Most High King of heaven and earth, and all things, Most High in the name of the Christ. Send more disciples and teachers to your harvest, so gather your people Israel, and send counsel behind your laws to stand before the people Israel. Give to us strength to break down our lies with thy word. And in Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
The blessing of Israel, Numbers chapter 6 and 24. Children of Israel, the Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And in Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
May the children of Israel bless one another.
Most High in the name of Christ, bless you all.
That's right.
Invalid option. Conference recording stopped. There are 3 attendees in this conference.
So look, you probably should have took the backside first, so this will be first. This is a little trick that
Our praise and sisters. Most High in Christ bless you too. Continue to Stay strong, right? Continue to stay strong. The Most High, God willing, will bless you, sister. I pray the Most High. Bless you. What's up, Felipe? What's up, Tim? Shalom, brothers. Who's on conference? What's up? I know I know Judah is there. What's up, brother? Uh-oh. Who's on conference? Nobody? Heads, what's up, brother? Shalom. You got it, man. How you doing, brother? No complaints. All right. All right, well, I got the wireless phone on this conference, so I'm gonna give it to him. Plus, it's about to go dead. I think his wife is calling too. So, God willing, we'll talk, okay, brother? All right, shalom. Ain't the water? The wife is calling. All praises, Tim. Shalom. So, listen, you brothers and sisters, man. I hope y'all planning to come out here and visit the body out here. We got Tabernacles coming up. Well, that's a few months off, but that's at the end of the summer. It's good to see y'all brothers doing the summer before then as well. So. I praise it. So listen, I'm gonna get out of here. It's late, y'all. Shalom. Most High in Christ bless. Peace.